Hey guys, today I want to talk a little about the Mokoko Bootcamp event. Now, this is supposed to be a really great event for new and returning players to come back to the game and learn the raids. Be able to run the raids with people who are experienced and have them teach you the new raids. At least I think that's what the goal is, and I'm sure that there are going to be some situations like that, but I'm also sure that there's going to be a lot of people who are getting carried as well. But we'll go into that in a little bit. So, how does this event work, right? Who is considered a Mokoko who is eligible for this bootcamp? Well, of course, everybody who's a veteran player, of course, is eligible to be a mentor of sorts, right? Somebody who is going to be running the event with the Mokokos and be able to get rewards for doing so. And one of those rewards is the Relic Selector chest for engravings, which is really, really valuable. And for the new players, they're going to be able to run with these veterans and get coins of their own as well to get honing materials, which is also great, right? So who's considered to be a Mokoko, or, the little green leaf that they're putting on people? Well, first off, a new account, a brand new account that has been created within the event period. So during the Ignite server in this Mokoko Bootcamp event, if somebody has made a character in this period, an account in this period, you're considered a Mokoko for this event. You can also get one if your account has been created within 60 days before the start of the event. So if you're a brand new account and you created within 60 days before the start of the event, and I think it's the Ignite server event, then you can be a green leaf. And that's great. But the last one I think is quite unfair. Accounts with a previous login date with over 60 days before the event start date. So this means that if you logged in before the event date, so before Ignite servers within the past 60 days, and you didn't log in any time before that, right? Maybe you heard that the Ignite server was going to be amazing. It was a great time for people to come back. And you're like, oh, let me check in on my account, right? I haven't been playing for, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, whatever it might be. And then you're like, I want to check the game out and just catch up, right? Well, if you did that, unfortunately, you don't get to take advantage of this event and you're considered a veteran. And I think this is really unfair. I really think that they shouldn't have put this in. It's just like, they should have been like, okay, well, if this person has not really played the game for more than a certain amount of hours within this period of time, then they're a returning player, right? I think that would have been a lot more, fair, because some people did really just come back just to check the game out, and they are a returning player. And I hope that AGS is able to rectify upon this in the future, whether it be during this event or maybe one of the future events, hopefully this event. But it really does suck for those people that did come back and to just check the game out, like a week before the Ignite server or something like that. Hopefully they fix it. But that's not all I wanted to talk about today. Like what I mentioned at the beginning, this is supposed to be an event for people to come back to learn how to play the game, learn how to do the raids and such, have somebody teach you how to do the raids. But as predicted by pretty much everybody out there, that's not exactly what happens. Now, there's a lot of parties that are like, oh, Mokoko welcome, Mokoko welcome, Mokoko leaf welcome, right? Which is great, right? Encouraging people to play with Mokokos is wonderful. Like, that's something that pretty much nobody ever does in Lost Ark. So having this be a thing is really awesome. But the thing is, these people aren't really like teaching them. They're really just giving him a carry. And I highlighted a party here. Nothing against Mr. 4K. I like the guy. I love the guy. He's great. But this is an example of what I'm talking about. Mr. 4K hosted this party looking for one Mokoko free carry, right? And while I'd say that it's better than not getting into a party at all, I really don't think that that is the point of this event. This event is really to encourage veteran players to play with newer players or returning players and kind of teach them runs, guide them through the process of doing these raids so that in the future, when they're no longer a Mokoko and have the status, they're able to run these raids by themselves. You can floor pop in a raid for months and still not learn in the raid, right? You get carried for months and still not learn the raid. So it really would have been great if they could have found a way to make it so that you're actually teaching these people how to run the raids. I don't know how it would happen because, busting the thing is pretty much impossible to stop that at this moment. But I really wish they could have come up with some creative way to do that so people aren't just carrying Mokokos. And it's not just people who are like veterans who are doing this as well. I've seen parties that are like I'm a Mokoko looking for a carry, right? People have done that, and it kind of goes both ways, which kind of sucks. But I really don't know what they could do to really kind of solve this problem. Now, the other thing is the event shop, right? So there's a really awesome event shop for, of course, the new players who are playing with the veterans. They get these little coins. And then also the veterans get coins for playing with the new players. Now, one thing I want to point our attention to is the amount of tokens that you get versus the rewards. So somebody broke this down in a nice little kind of spreadsheet image thing for how many tokens you get per raid. So you get the least for Voldus and you get the most for Behemoth, right? You get 50 for the total of G1 and G2, which is pretty nice. Like, you can get most of these rewards and a lot of them with that. But the thing is, most people, when they were looking at the rewards list, they saw the Relic Combat Engraving Recipe Selection Pouch and were like, oh my god, this is amazing. We need to do this to get this. And the problem is, it's 1,200 points. It is super expensive. People did the calculations, and I think they said you need to run like 25 raids over the 11 weeks or something like that. They said like over here, 24 times for Behemoth within the 11 weeks. Of course, you could get it faster, but you know, that's a lot of raids over this small period of time, and you might not even always ensure that you get like a Mokoko in your party, right? And this further incentivizes people to just go and do these carry runs, because that way they can get it out of the way quickly and run through it and get a bunch of coins. Now, I don't blame Amazon for kind of putting this as a really premium reward and trying to encourage people to run with Mokokos more often. But at the same time, it kind of feels like this is a little bit out of reach for most people who aren't playing like a ton of characters every week or don't have a lot of time to play. It really seems like it is a little bit of a stretch to get this, and I wish they could have brought this down maybe to like even like 600 or something like that, because 1,200 really seems like something that not many people are going to be able to get to. Again, it's great that they're encouraging people to play with these Mokokos, and you can see it in the party finder. Like, people are saying like, flower welcome, Mokokos welcome, come Mokokos, right? But at the same time, again, they are encouraging them to play with them, but it's not really going to do anything for them. These people are just going to get the free clears, and then at some point they're going to go into like, I don't know, egg gear. They're going to go into times when there's no more Mokoko event, and they're not going to be led into parties, and people are like, oh my god, Mokoko imposter. Like, I already see it down the line, right? Like, at some point people are going to be like watching these people floor pop, right? Or have people in their raids floor pop, like, oh, you must be a Mokoko floor popper, huh? Like, that's what's going to happen with this whole incentive system, and I wish they could have made it so that it was a little bit better to actually encourage people to teach people, because this right here, making it so that there are like rewards that cost a ton of coins, does not even incentivize. Like, you should be doing what you can to incentivize the veterans to teach the new players. And this whole system of making, oh, you know, you got to get as many coins as possible in a short amount of time, like, that is just incentivizing veterans to just bust these players. Like, you really should have been something else. That, like, maybe it could have been like, I don't know, this is probably really bad, but like time spent in raid. Like, maybe like every minute or every like 10 minutes spent in a raid, right, accumulates coins for you, so that you're more incentivized to stay in the raid with these Mokokos. Now, maybe that might encourage people to like floor pop a little bit more, but you know what I mean, right? It's that right now the system, right, it's not incentivizing people to teach Mokokos at all. And I would have loved to see them have some creative way to make it so that people are incentivized to do so, and not just create this 1,200 point reward to incentivize people to just bust Mokokos through. But that's the end of my rant. Sorry about that. I just saw the system and I was like, what is going on? Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts about this are. Do you like the way that I've implemented it? Do you not like it? Let me know your comments. And as always, if you want to see more content like this, please remember to hit the sub button. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel out a lot, and it's a completely free way to do so. And another way to support the channel that's completely free is come hang out on Twitch. Twitch.tv/MisoXShiru. Stream every single night at 10 p.m. PST. So hopefully I see you guys on my stream, but if not, hopefully I'll see y'all on the next video. Alright guys, peace.